Today is August 21st, and exactly 2 years ago, I left my parents' house and dropped everything to move to San Diego to pursue this job. I plan, shoot, edit, and upload social media content on various platforms about these free skates for the company that makes them. And while it might seem like the perfect scenario, I'm gonna give you some caveats and some things I learned along those 2 years of working this dream job. Lesson number 1 is that work is still work. Now you might think with this seemingly perfect combination of passions for my job that I would never work a day of my life. And 2 years ago, that's what I assumed, is that I would never be working. That's just not the case. As someone that is responsible for every step along the way in terms of making a piece of social media content, at the end of the day, work is still work, and it just so happens that I mildly enjoy doing it. Lesson number 2 is that passion drives everything. Regardless of how stressful this job gets, and it does sometimes get really stressful with responsibilities everywhere, it does help to have that North Star of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and what that is to grow the free skating community and teach people to free skate and meet other free skaters. Whenever I'm stressed, I try to remember this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I've found the right place to be. Knowing that passion is there to drive everything really goes a long way. Lesson number 3 is that dream job does not equate to happiness. Now, I'll admit when I moved here, even though I moved into an apartment at a grand total of $421 a month in downtown San Diego, I was still pumped. I was pumped to be here and work for my dream company, and it was all sunshine and rainbows that first couple weeks. But I soon realized that moving to a new city, working for this job that had a lot of pressure on me, being so passionate about it, it came with a lot of stress that I wasn't prepared for living in small town Iowa with not very much going on. So this big life adjustment by itself, on top of all the responsibilities that came with the job, it put a lot of stress on me. On top of, as someone that was already creating content before moving here for myself as a creative outlet, moving to this job and focusing on all these responsibilities meant I suddenly had no time for this other thing. And that honestly is what was keeping me happy. Having that part of my life ripped away from me honestly put me in a bit of a sad place for quite some time. Even though I was doing this amazing job and meeting these amazing people, I still had that part of me that was missing, and part of, getting back to making these videos is me figuring that all out. So if you do find your dream job, just know it can very well take over your life if you're not careful, and you kind of have to set boundaries and just be intentional about it. Lesson number 4 is you never truly make it in life. One of the most common questions I get while working for JMKRIDE has been, what is the next step? Like, okay, you're working for this cool company. What's the next company? Where are you going next? And honestly, my answer to that is, I don't intend on going anywhere. Like, this is kind of the end game for me in terms of what I want to be doing. I found my passion or passions for the camera and skating as well. And this is the perfect combination of that. So what's next for me right now is developing this dream job into bigger and better things and going more places and meeting more people, teaching more people. When I got this job, I expected to feel like I've made it and to feel content with that. But the more I think about it, the more I realize I'm never quite content with this job and where I am. I'm always looking for more, wanting the next thing, even though in some ways it might look like I've made it and succeeded and thought I would feel that way. In the end, I'm never quite satisfied, and I'm always looking for the next big thing. Lesson number 5 of working my dream job has been the fulfillment of meeting like-minded people. Now, when I lived back in the Midwest, there weren't a whole lot of free skaters around me to share this with. There were a few, like JC, Eric, Davin. There weren't a whole lot of other people I felt understood by. But by working to pursue this passion of free skating, it ended me up in a place where I could turn it into a career, and suddenly I have this not only group of free skaters around me, but just skaters in general. I am now surrounded by a group of people that understand my passion, that get me, and saying that's fulfilling would be an understatement. And I wouldn't have gotten there if I didn't pursue that passion of free skating relentlessly. So those are my 5 takeaways of working my dream job for 2 years. I hope you got something out of this video, or at least found it interesting. If you had some big takeaway, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video on my free skating journey.